Shalom Makyam, Kahala Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Kakwadash. I want to proceed this lesson with giving double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and the Shalom to you brothers, children, and sisters that might be watching. I'm going to go into the book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 13, and it says, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. And this is who it's going into. But it's going into Jacob and Esau. And this is from the book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 25. And it says, and the first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And after that came his brother out, and his name was called Jacob. So like it. So Jacob consists of you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And these are the Edomites, man. These so-called white people. These are Spaniards. These people from Portugal. Over there in the United Kingdom. You know, all these other, so-called white people are these so-called Edomites, man. So let me go into Book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 13, and read it again. And it says, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And it says, but Esau have I hated, So the Lord, we see it right here that the Lord hates these certain people, man. And it says it in the Bible, if they say that, if your church doesn't teach you that the Lord hates, then, they're deceiving you, man. They're not telling you, the whole truth of what the Bible really is, man. Or if you guys even really believe in the Bible as you guys say you do. This is right here. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. We always see him talking this sweet talk, man. Always saying things about, giving us these promises and things like that. Hey, that's how they portray the way that they are, man. But we know deep down that, they don't really want to help us, man. They like to see us suffer, and that's their objective, man. They want to see Jake suffering, man. It says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter. So, hey, he knows how to sweet talk Jake, man. And a lot of Jake give in to what he's saying, man. But it says right here, but war was in his heart. War was in his mind all the time, man. You can't change this man's mind, man. And it says back then, Christopher Columbus could have put his sword down for an hour, man. He was writing this down, man. And they found this about what he said. So, hey, how much differently, these other Edomites now, man. Because what's his name, Columbus? That dude was a straight up Edomite, man. He was Esau, man. So-called white man. So start from the top. Psalm chapter 55, verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords, man. So that's like, saying, they talking nice, but the whole time they got a gun in the back of their, packed back there, man. Hidden from you, man. And we see that every time, they persecute us, man. They're always throwing the most charges on us, man. You see when they lock up these Edomites, they still got that white privilege that's going around, man. And a lot of you Jakes know that these Edomites get away with a lot of shit, man. It's the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 2, verse 10 through 11. And it says, to whom may forgive anything, I forgive also. For if I forgive anything to whom I forgave it, for your sakes forgave I in the person of Mashiach, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. It says right here, for we are not ignorant of his devices, and his sweet talk is also another device of that, going into that, one of his devices that he uses a lot, and all these false ads and, all this false help that that they say they like to help, man. Like that Black Lives Matter movement, man. That was all funded by, the Soros family, man. By George Soros, man. It's all they're all psyops to, bring more hate into what there already is, man. They want to control that chaos. Let me get this Salakia. They got this video right here, boy.
And I know times are tough, but I want you to know that help is on the way. Last week, I announced the nominations and staff for critical foreign policy and national security positions. A first-rate team that's going to keep us safe and secure. And today, I have the pleasure of announcing key nominations and appointments for the critical economic positions in the administration. A team that's tested and experienced. It includes groundbreaking Americans who come from different backgrounds, but who share my core vision for economic relief here in the United States of America.
The pandemic and economic fallout that together have caused so much damage for so many and have had a disproportionate impact on the most vulnerable among us. Lost lives, lost jobs, small businesses struggling to stay alive or closed for good. So many people struggling to put food on the table and pay bills and rent. It's an American tragedy, and it's essential that we move with urgency.
Right now, the full Congress should come together and pass a robust package for relief.
Hey, you see it right there, man. They let me go back right here. The book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 21. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords, man. Hey, and you see that, there has been this, these prices and shit going down, the lost jobs, the lost, these businesses not making it, man. It's because they all want it to happen, man. They're all causing this in the backseat, man. So I just want to, hey, make a quick hit on that. How, Esau Edom is still, after our people, man. And how the Lord only loves us, man, and hates these other nations, man. I hope this lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect.